guys, welcome back to another episode as told by Battnyd, and I am Battnyd. We're gonna hop right into this video because your girl's getting better with not rambling at the beginning. I have no updates to tell you guys besides the fact that we are consistently still growing here on as told by Battnyd, and I am appreciative of every single one of my subscribers, like truly, especially the OGs. Like, y'all hold it down for your girl and I appreciate it. So yeah, no new updates for real. I do see some of you guys asking about my apartment and decorations and showing you guys updated decoration stuff, so I for sure will show you guys my apartment. It's Happy Black History Month. It is February 2nd. It is February 2nd, it's the second day of Black History Month, and we going hard, even though black people, we should go hard every day for being black. But happy Black History Month to my people. So let's hop right into this video. I even forgot what video I'm recording because I'm recording so many today. Okay. We're gonna be just talking about, well, I'm gonna be talking about the hardest things about having locks. The hardest part about having locks. As you guys know, I've been locked for almost 6 years. It'll be 6 years in April. I'm sorry. I have to clean my glasses off because they're dirty and it's annoying me. The hardest things about having locks, before I get into this video, I just want to make a disclaimer that I do not regret starting locks at all. Honestly, I say all the time that starting locks was one of the best decisions I ever made in my life, and I still stand very firm on that. I think in the beginning stages it is kind of more hard because your locks aren't formed nor mature, so it is kind of harder to, you know, see the bigger picture of your locks when they're not like fully formed. But just stick with it, guys. I'm telling you, it's the best decision I ever made. Like, okay, so let's get into this video. Some of the harder parts, some of the harder things about having locks, I wrote them down on my phone, so I'm gonna be reading some of the points off of my notepad. The first point that I have, oh, and let me add one. Okay, the first point I have is how long it takes to do your hair. So this definitely varies from person to person. Definitely varies from person to person, especially when your locks get longer. Just expect it to take longer to do your hair because your locks are longer. So when I was like first locked, it would take me, you know, so much shorter time to wash and retwist my hair than it does now. If I detox and then wash and retwist my hair all in one day, it's probably going to take me somewhere between 5 and 7 hours, depending on like how thorough I am. Some days I will admit that I am lazier with my washes, and sometimes when I do wash, I don't detox. It definitely does take me a long time, but that's, you know, like I said, I'm 6 years, almost 6 years in, so just expect the longer your hair gets, the longer it's gonna take you to do your hair. It's a struggle. So, and I know loose naturals go through this too, because, you know, when I was loose natural, I was dedicating like a whole day to my wash days and stuff. But it definitely didn't take me no 5 to 6 hours to do all of that. But yeah, tell me how long it takes you guys. Does it take you guys like a long time to do your locks, like wash, retwist, and detox? If you do, like, am I just slow? I don't know, but one thing I want to express is to be thorough with your detoxes and your washes, because if you're not being thorough and taking your time and actually washing out all the buildup and dirt, like, then it's just pointless. Like, you're just putting water on your hair. Like, I don't know. But okay. The second point kind of goes into how long it takes to do your hair, how long it takes to dry, okay? How long it takes to dry. If you're washing your hair and you don't like blow dry it, yeah, if you don't blow dry it, if you don't do anything to like dry your hair besides like letting it air dry, just expect your hair to take a long time to dry. There are times that I do wash my hair and it's like super late in the evening and I throw that bonnet on and go to bed. I will say when I do that, I do try to like blow dry my locks on like a low cool setting just to like try and dry it some more. But honestly, like if I'm done washing my hair in the evening time and I want to go to bed, like I'm gonna go to bed. Not the best thing to do. I will say I've never experienced like smell or like mildew smells with my locks doing that, but I want to also emphasize to not do that. Like, do as I say, not as I do. It's not good. It's not the best decision. I won't say like if you do it once or twice here or there, it's not gonna cure your locks, but don't get in the habit of washing your hair and then going straight to bed when your hair is wet. So that's the downfall to having locks, how long it takes to dry. I know some people who don't agree with putting heat to your locks. I don't think, this is just my opinion, I don't think anything's wrong with it. As long as it's not like hot and like it's drying out your hair and like breaking it. and I definitely wouldn't suggest doing it like all the time. I never blow dry my locks fully dry ever. I'm the type of person, I don't like water dripping down my neck or my back. I don't like oil dripping down my back, so I will blow dry my hair to the point of it not dripping, but if I touch it and it's still damp, like, that's okay. So the third point, how much products your locks use. Honestly, I see a pattern with the cons to having locks. It's really all about like quantity, like quantity of products, quantity of time, quantity of money, because when you have locks, you use a lot of products. And again, when your locks are longer, the more product you're going to use, the more time you're going to have to spend on them, the more money you're going to have to spend on them, because you have more locks or longer locks, more hair to cover. When I deep condition my hair, I probably would, when I haven't deep conditioned my hair probably in like 2 years probably, but when I would be using like the full bottle, and the bottle would be like this big, and I would use the full thing just in one deep condition. The same thing with shampoo, honestly, if I'm being honest. I'm the type, I wash my hair until like I feel like it's clean and it actually feels lighter for me, because when you do wash your hair, your locks should feel lighter after they're cleaned, because you won't have all the dirt in it and it should be washed out. So that's how you know if you're washing your hair correctly and efficiently, if your locks are lighter after you wash them. And so oftentimes, like before I started using Dr. Bronner's, and it is like a super concentrated soap, so you're supposed to dilute it. And so the Dr. Bronner's shampoo, I would definitely recommend for shampooing, because it goes a long way. Like the bottles are this big. It's probably like $14. They have different size bottles, but the bottles I buy is like this big. Like I said, it's a concentrated oil, so you have to dilute it, and so a little goes a long way. So that one lasts. It's like $14 for the bottle of this size, and so it's definitely worth the money. Before that, I was using like a shampoo that didn't need to be diluted. I literally would use the entire bottle when I would shampoo my hair. Maybe if not the entire bottle, like definitely 3/4 of the bottle. That's the downfall to having locks, the amount of products you use. And of course, when you have to have more products, you spend more money. Definitely not like something to stop you from starting locks though, because you don't wash your hair that much as you do when you're loose natural. I've dyed my hair many times with locks, and I use like 4 to 5 boxes. So it probably totals out to like around, really depending on what I get, it totals from $70 to $100 just to dye my hair. But yeah, if you want to use cheap products, it's gonna show in your hair. And I'm not saying to go out and spend $1 million on your hair products, but you definitely want to make sure that you are getting quality hair products. So my next point, how easy it isn't. Well, it can't, okay. Whoa, you know, like loose natural hair, you wake up and you don't feel like doing your hair, really getting ready, so you can just easily like slap some gel on, slick it back into like a bun or a low ponytail. You can do that with locks, but I've learned in my experience that it's not the best to do that. I used to be one of the types to like slick back my locks. Like when they weren't retwisting, it was just like, you like loose natural hair up here. I used to just like take gel and like, you know, like a bristle brush and like slick it back into like a low ponytail, and it was nice. And I'll insert some pictures. And I love slicking my locks back, but one thing I noticed is that one, it would break off like my locks at the beginning, and two, it would cause buildup. So that's why I was saying that's a downfall to locks. You can't easily like slick them back. You can, but it's not like the best for your locks, because it does break off and thin your edges. Now, if you have any way of doing this and you're watching this and you do slick back your locks into a low bun or low ponytail and it hasn't broken off or thinned your edges, like definitely comment below and leave some tips or advice. One thing I have like learned is to use not like such a like hard brush, so maybe like a baby brush, and it's not gonna like slick it back as good as it would if you like used a hard bristle brush, but also like putting a scarf down and laying it down. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you guys that I don't slick my hair back anymore. I do it probably like once or twice a year, if that. I'm leaning more towards the once a year, because when I was doing it so much, it would just thin my edges and started to like break the little hairs from my edges. Product buildup, if you want to have your hair looking neat all the time. It sucks because like and I'm not bashing nobody, like everyone, this is their own journey, but this is just my opinion. I've seen people that have like locks like all the time, just always neat, always retwisted, at least in the front, like it always looks neat. Like for me, like I have like this. It doesn't look like this. They lay this down, you know. It just, you know, it always looks retwisted in the front. It doesn't look like this. For me personally, when I was like, especially in college, I always wanted my front to look retwisted because it was when my hair was a little shorter. And I just feel like personally, when your locks are longer, it's easier for like you to be able to get up out of bed and go, because you know, like my locks can fall over my edges and not look that bad, like that messy. But when you do have shorter locks, it is kind of harder to control them. And when I say control, I mean like having them look neat. It is kind of difficult when you do have shorter locks. I was like, I wouldn't say, I was like almost to a point of like retwisting my front way too much, because in college I always wanted to look like nicely put together, and so I was always like retwisting my front like every day, if not always retwisting the front, but like always laying it down and like manipulating it with like a brush or like some gel. I noticed that the front of my locks started to thin just a little, and yeah, when I noticed that, I was like, oh no, I'm done. Like I ain't doing this no more. Like I just have messy locks. Y'all just gonna have to be okay. Like, but that's one downfall. You can't just easily, like, if you do want to maintain your front and have it looking neat all the time, you do have to low-key sacrifice like a possibility of thinning your locks and also creating buildup that you potentially couldn't get out of your locks. That's just my opinion. If you guys have any like suggestions or tips to maintaining your front and having it look neat like the whole time before getting another retwist, definitely comment below. Like I don't want this conversation to be one-sided, like, you know. Okay, so the last point I have, and this is like, I don't know, I hope you guys get what I'm saying when I say this point, but the last point, the last con, I mean pro, what am I saying? Con. The last con to having locks is maintaining them, but not maintaining them, but like maintain them in a way of like making sure they don't thin. And this kind of goes into the last point I made of, you know, maintaining the front and having it look neat and not being able to easily do that with locks. But I think it's like low-key, like low-key hard to make sure your locks don't thin, because I don't know, like dyeing your hair too much will have your locks thin, especially bleaching them. And I'm gonna make a video on bleaching your locks because I bleached my locks like 2.5 years ago. Ooh. I'm gonna have to make a video, but you know, retwisting too much, retwisting your front too much, brushing your hair down to slick it back too much manipulation on your locks will thin them. Like it's just a lot. Well, I won't say it's a lot to make sure not to thin them, but you do have to make sure that you are very intentional in what you're doing in your hair care and your maintenance to make sure your locks don't thin out. Like you have to make sure, especially if you're like someone who's like very particular about your hair and you like your hair to look put together and neat all the time. I definitely, before you start locks, or if you are starting locks now, I would definitely try to come up and brainstorm some ways you can keep your hair looking neat all the time without manipulating it so much. So definitely be like on top of like wearing a bonnet at night, and even going far as like putting a scarf down and laying your edges down. Like some people, like if you are like a stickler for like making your hair look neat, like it's gonna be super hard for you not to like want to retwist all the time. Like if stuff like this, like, well, where's this? Let me show you. If stuff like this bothers you, like where it's not like freshly retwisted, it's really just for the people who like are sticklers about having their hair look put together and neat all the time. You may struggle with having locks because if you do it too much, like too much manipulation can thin your locks. And so that's why I was saying that's a con to having locks, because you can't easily, well, you can easily thin your hair. I don't want to say easily, because I know someone watching is gonna be like, well, I really don't do much and my hair is not thinning. But that's, you know, like it's really to each his own. So if you are a stickler for having your hair look neat and put together, then you probably will hate the fact that you can't like retwist and manipulate your hair so much for it to look nice, because it will thin it, is what I'm saying. I hope y'all got what I was saying. But don't let this video discourage you from having locks. Like everything worth having does not come easy. Everything worth having does not come easy. Everything worth having is definitely worth working for. So if you want to have locks, create yourself a maintenance routine that works for you, that makes sure that keeps your hair healthy and flourishing. And yeah, that's what I have to say. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys got some great advice from it. If you guys like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you guys have any other more points to add to a few things why it's hard to have locks, make sure to comment them below and we can have like a little discussion. I love talking to you guys, I really do. Make sure you subscribe to my channel for more lock videos like this one, and I will see you guys later. Remember to wear your mask, show yourself love because Valentine's Day is coming up, and happy Black History Month, woo! Anyways, bye.